non-stop, addicted to the shindig. Chop top, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not to like or imitation. Distant us into the reservation.
Prophets. In a manner of speaking. Two of them. The one who speaks, and he will, at great length, whether you want him to or not, will make mention of himself as a prophet. The other one, well, he's a quiet type.
And welcome to the Burger and Badass Show. We are back again like we are every Wednesday night. Talk a little bit about sports. And Badass, I got some good news this week.
I know what kind of good news you got.
I finally went and did it.
You finally went and did it. So I can only imagine that means you either robbed a bank, you possibly gotten a promotion, or you went and slept with one of those blonde girls at my work. Sorry, Tracy.
Well, 1 out of 3 is right. I did get a promotion.
Okay, hey, nice.
So I'm officially now going to be store manager at the place I work at. I'm real proud I get my own store now. Finally get a chance to spread out and see what I can do on my own. It's been a long time coming, Badass.
You know what? I agree. You paid your dues. It is a long time coming.
But getting back to what I did.
What did you do then? If that's not just it, then what did you in fact do, my friend?
We are now official on YouTube. I have finally gone and done it, and I've finally figured out all the kinks and all the issues I was having with it. Finally figured it out, and we are now officially on YouTube. I know over the weekend you guys saw that all over Facebook, trying to promote it, trying to get everything out. Thank you guys, everybody that watched it. Thank you, everybody who viewed it, commented. Special shout out to Mikey, your cousin.
Yeah, you gotta give a whole special shout out to cousin Mike. He was number one, numero uno.
He was number one to like it, number one to be a subscriber, and number one to comment on it.
I'm just waiting. I know that, this is something where you start out, you're not just going to make a big splash right off the bat. I'm waiting for the hate to roll in, because believe me, I know somebody's going to get pissed off with something I've said. So, hey, bring it on. I'm ready, because you know what? Once we get this shit hooked up to the Skype phone, you can actually call and direct your bullshit directly to me during the show. Believe me, I would love that. That would be great.
So, looking at our views, our first video we put up there, it's now been up there since Saturday. So that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, including today. We are at 45 views on our first video that we put up there for episode 16 of the Burger and Badass Show.
Not bad. Like I said, you got to start somewhere. I mean, I didn't expect to go heavy and hard, but 45 views, that means that somebody's listening. Somebody's actually giving us the time of day.
And actually, I looked at this. This is pretty cool. It actually shows for me, because I'm the main person on the page. It actually shows the statistics on there. And the average minute of listening was 107 minutes. Our first video was 135 minutes, I think it was. An hour and 35 minutes. So that's not bad. They listened for 3/4 of the show. I'm happy with that. I don't know about you, Badass.
That's not too bad. I mean, either we pissed them off or they just got sick and tired of hearing our bullshit. But hey, thanks for listening. We appreciate it. I mean, it's actually been proven that the longer you listen, the more you end up doing so because you hate somebody, not because you like them. I mean, how do you think Howard Stern got to where he is?
Exactly. You have to piss them off to like you.
Oh, absolutely.
So I also put up a couple of the other videos. I'm having a little bit of issues. I have to sit down and actually figure out another little kink, but it's not that bad. But I'm gonna figure it out, and hopefully I'm gonna get all the stuff up. I have everything edited and ready to go. The longest part of it is rendering it and loading up to YouTube. That's the hardest part. That's when each video takes 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours to render.
You were explaining this process to me, and it's actually quite lengthy, but I feel that it's worth it in the end because our shows are getting up. People are going to be able to listen. There will be continuity because there will be more shows going up. Because I think that's what a lot of people don't expect. A lot of people are not expecting us to keep doing this. They think it's up. Here's the little flash in the pan. But that's the art of this. You can't just be a flash in the pan. You got to keep at it and keep going. Because after a long enough time, people will literally hear what you've got to say just because you're a known voice. I mean, if somebody doesn't know who you are they going to listen? Probably not. But if somebody has actually heard you 1,000 days, on 1,001, guess what? They might actually start taking your opinion to heart. That's just my opinion of it.
Oh, yeah, another special shout-out to Tracy, your boss.
Yeah, Boss Man Tracy actually listened, and he said that he really wanted to come on the show, which actually shocked me because, I mean, I warned the man that it was not a child-friendly or family-friendly show, but he actually dug what we were doing. So whenever we can get Boss Man on here, we certainly will. Y'all will like the man. He's got good opinions. He's got a good mind. And believe me, I got to tell you right now, Burger, he's going to come hard and heavy with the Yankee talk. He's going to already go ahead and let you know that they're wrapping up the East and that your little Orioles are nothing but a little bunch of orange turd nuggets.
All right, so Tracy, I know you're going to be listening because you like our show and you're going to be listening all the time now. If you're listening, like John Cena says, you can't see me, bring it, bitch.
Oh, bringing out the smack talk. Okay.
Well, I have to bring out a little bit of smack talk.
Oh, but see, that's the thing, though. You got to throw down. You got to whack it up.
Oh, I will. I'll back it up. I have no problem backing it up.
All right, we'll see.
I'm not scared.
All right, we'll see.
You know me. I'll go right into battle. I might lose, but you know what? I'm going to go in there. I'm going to fight.
I heard that. But I feel like we've sufficiently sucked ourselves off good and dry, so maybe we ought to get on to the show for the sake of the listeners.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into the show. And the first thing I want to talk about is I know we keep saying that, we're done with the NFL news, but
it just keeps on coming.
You know that when you do stupid things, you just get called out by us. I mean, that's simply how it is. You're going to get called out. So, in NFL news, New York Jets cornerback Darrelle Revis, everybody knows who he is, little loudmouth punk, was arrested on Sunday.
Hey, I knocked both of these motherfuckers out. Both of them. They both sleep. Shut up before I knock your ass out next. Both of y'all, shut up.
After an altercation with two men in Pittsburgh, on Thursday night, Revis, who went into the University of Pittsburgh, was out and about with a couple of his friends when five guys approached him and asked him if he was Revis. And one of the five guys started recording him. Revis asked the guy to stop recording, and after not listening, Revis tried to grab the camera out of his hand to delete the video. Revis then threw the guy's phone into the street. One of Revis' friends approached them, and a fight broke out, in which two of the men were knocked out unconscious. Both of the men were taken to the hospital, in which one of them was treated for a broken bone around his eye socket.
No balls. No balls. No balls. No balls. No balls.
I mean, what else can you say? I mean, you end up talking shit to an NFL player, and yeah, y'all went the fuck to sleep, because for all y'all out there, that video we played, that was actually Darrelle Revis talking shit about knocking both of them. I mean, that was some hard-ass shit, people. I mean, do we got to give it to him for the week?
I think we have to, badass.
You know what? Should we go ahead and certify it and give him just go ahead and seal him up and give him the ribbon?
Yep, might as well go ahead and do it.
All right, we're just going to have to give it to him. Hey, Darrelle Revis, you are the BAMF of the week. Because you, sir, are one bad motherfucker. These dudes come up talking shit, and you gave them the motherfucking business. Holler at your boy. You're the BAMF of the week.
Unfortunately, Revis was charged with 2 counts of felonious aggravated assault, 1 count of felony robbery, 1 count of felony conspiracy to commit aggravated assault, and 1 count of misdemeanor making terroristic threatening.
I mean, just going hard, man. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, these dudes thought they were going to get them some, but they didn't think they were going to get what they got.
My question is, I'm interested to see what the Jets and the NFL are going to do about this.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to give a shit.
You don't think so?
I mean,
they're going to fine them.
They're going to fine them. They're going to make a little, saying, oh, you shouldn't do that. But no, dude,
suspend them?
There's people who've done worse shit. They're playing.
Suspend them, maybe?
For what, a game?
2 games, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, what, 1 game apiece for each knockout?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. But, yeah, Darrell Revis, you get the Best Award week, and I'm telling you, that's pretty badass. I mean, knocked him out and then talked shit on the camera and said, "Hey, back up off of me. I'm gonna knock you the fuck out."
All I can say is this, people. That was pretty badass what he did, but he is going to actually probably have to go to jail over that. Where he did that is not an area that's just going to let you go because you're an athlete. And he's from where this happened.
Well, that's his hometown.
And did exactly. If y'all don't know, we're talking about Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh?
Hey, watch it.
I know. I'm sorry.
Watch it.
I know. I do that sometimes.
You don't talk shit on Pittsburgh.
I can't. You know what? I can't knock them. 6 Super Bowls. I can't knock them. They got past the 49ers. I mean, they are the greatest team.
All I know is if you ride through Pittsburgh and somebody road rages on you and you throw them a finger, you best be ready to fist fight because they're going to stop you and get out the car and they'll fight you in the street. And some bitches are nuts.
Now, our next story that we have is some more NFL news, but it's not as extravagant as the first story. The second story is a little bit more calm story. Nick Saban and Alabama have found their replacement for former offensive coordinator Lane Kiffin, who took the job as the head coach of USF, and Steve Sarkisian, who took the offensive coordinator job for the Atlanta Falcons. Alabama named former New England tight end coach Brian Daboll as the new offensive coordinator for the Tide. Daboll, who spent the last 4 years in New England, also was a New York Jets quarterback from 2002 to 2006, the Cleveland Browns offensive coordinator from 2009 to 2010, and also spent 1 year in the same position in Miami and Kansas City before joining New England in 2013. Daboll will inherit an Alabama offense led by last year's true freshman quarterback Jalen Hurts, who led the team to a 13-1 record and a SEC Offensive Player of the Year.
I mean, to be quite honest, it is what it is. He's another brick in the wall. I mean, that's just what it is. It doesn't matter who goes to Alabama. It doesn't matter who Nick Saban hires. It just doesn't matter at this point. There is a clear-cut system in place, and you either follow the system or you get shipped out. That's just how it works in Tuscaloosa.
Well, my question to you, badass, is you have two kind of big names like Lane Kiffin and Steve Sarkisian there, and then you take this guy here who I really don't know much about. I mean, he's a tight end coach for the New England Patriots. Granted, they're the New England Patriots, prestige. I mean, it is what, that's what it is. There's a lot of prestige there, but again, he's a tight end coach. I mean, now you're running a whole offense at a school run by a guy that is a tyrant. I mean, let's call it what it is. He's mini Hitler. I mean, he wants everything done the way he wants it done, and that's it.
And that's exactly why that guy probably got the job, because he's willing to implement the Coach Saban system. I mean, think about it. The most NFL-ready players have been coming out of places like Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State. These schools have been producing these people for a reason. And what I think it really comes down to is that he expects greatness and he expects it his way. All the time, every time. Like you said, tyrant. It's the best word to explain Nick Saban. That's why we call him Little Nicky, because he's a little fucking Napoleonic tyrant little son of a bitch, but it works. Because his system is his system.
I mean, is what I'm saying pretty true? I mean, Little Hitler?
No, I'd say Little Napoleon. Napoleon's more accurate for him.
Napoleon?
Yeah, because if you're given the choice, I don't think that he would want to kill Jews.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand that.
I don't think so, but Napoleon was a little asshole that just pissed off everyone. He stood like 4'0", and he just had to claim it. That's why they call it the Napoleon complex. I'm small, I'm little, I'm pissed off all the time. I have to do great big things because I'm a little man. And he's a little man. Look at his players. His players could easily pick him up and throw him like 15 yards. And they probably wanted to multiple times because he's an asshole. But his system works. So you got to give him credit. He made a smart hire. You know why? because he knows more about it than we do. And he obviously saw something in that man that made him say, that's who I want, because he either A, understands, B, gets it, or C, all the above.
And I mean, again, I mean, you're going with a guy, I mean, he's not a big name as per se Lane Kiffin or Sarkisian, but again, he's coming from New England Patriots. I mean, he must be doing something right. I mean, I really wouldn't claim on my resume Cleveland Browns, but that's just me personally.
He understands what it's like to succeed at the highest level of pro football. So maybe the transition to succeeding at the highest level in college football might not actually be too hard of a job for him.
But again, he's taking over a job that you almost have to look at it as your dad has a Ferrari, right? Badass. Your dad has a Ferrari. He says, here you go, son. Here's the keys to the Ferrari. Don't put a dent in it. You know, I mean, it's a high skill position. I mean, you're running Alabama's offense. I mean, that's a big offense to be running. And I mean, my question is, do you think he'll be able to do it?
Yeah, because honestly, I don't think who it matters is there. I mean, look at the players they have. Jalen Hurts is going to play at a high level. You know, Bo Scarborough is going to play at a high level. All these cats are going to play it. I mean,
Is Scarborough back this year again?
yeah.
Oh,
That's what I mean. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, honestly, you could get damn Joe Blow off the street. You really could. I mean, to the point where the system is run so perfectly, they're really just looking for a manager. You don't come there with fresh ideas going, this is how I want to do things. That's not how the fuck it works. Not in Sabanville. That's not how it works. You do what the fuck he says, when he says, how he says, why he says, and the motherfucker says to wear a tutu while you do it. You do it. That's just how it is down there. That's how it is.
So you think it'll work out pretty well there?
Depends on him. It all depends on him.
So I want to go ahead and move on into some other news. And it's pretty sad news. This week we had a trifecta of death in wrestling, as former 80s great Ivan Kozlov, George Animal Steel, and 90s and 2000 wrestler manager Nicole Bass all passed away this week. I mean, wow, that's 3 people in 1 week. I mean, that's crazy.
That's bad.
And we were just talking about this, a couple weeks ago?
Not even.
Not even? We're talking about how these wrestlers that are, going to start passing away. And look at that, boom, 3 in 1 week. And big names, too. Ivan Kozlov, big name in the 80s. George Animal Steel, I mean, everybody knows who George Animal Steel is.
When I saw that, I said, damn, that's another one. Even my wife knew who that was.
And then, I mean, Nicole Bass, I mean, a lot of people don't know Nicole Bass that well because she's only around for a couple years in wrestling. But she was really known on the Howard Stern show. So anybody listening to the Howard Stern show knew exactly who Nicole Bass was. I mean, she was a whack packer, one of those weird people. I mean, she was a giant. She was a lot like China. But she was just built like crazy.
I do know this. The wrestling family's hurting. Because I know how tight-knit that group is behind those curtains. And that's 3 in 1 week. That's a lot of hurt. Because all them people know each other. It's like the mafia. It's the carnival mafia. Wrestling, really. I mean, yeah, that's right. I'll go ahead and trademark that. Carnival mafia. Because that's kind of what Vince McMahon's got going on, man. Like, they're like a bunch of gypsies. They go in and out of places. They all travel together. But they love one another to, like, a huge extent. Because they trust each other with their lives. Like, pretty much every time they go out there and do something stupid that could get them killed, they're trusting in the other guy to not do something stupid that gets them killed. They're a family, so I know that hurts. It has to. I know how those people are. They just, when they lose that many people, it has to.
Kozlov, who was also known as Russian Bear, was 74. He held many, many belts in his career in several different organizations, including the ACW Tag Team Championship, the NWA Heavyweight Championship and Tag Team Champion, and the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. Kozlov passed away on Saturday after his long battle with liver cancer. George Animal Steel, whose career lasted over 30 years, who was known for his quiet demeanor but brute strength, will always be remembered for eating the turnbuckle during his match. But during his run, he never won a title in the WWF. I really didn't know that, and that kind of surprised me a little bit. Like, his whole career, I mean, he was around for 30 years, and he never won a belt in the WWF while he was there.
Maybe he didn't want one.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. I mean, the whole career they had, and he never. I mean, he wrestled greats like Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage. I mean, greats. Never won a belt. Brutus Sammartino. I mean, he wrestled great people. Never won a belt.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Steele, who was 79, was inducted into the WWF Hall of Fame in 1995. Passed away on Thursday due to kidney failure. Nicole Bass, who is best known for her appearance on Howard Stern show as a whack packer, made her debut in ECW in 1998 as Justin Credle's manager. Bass joined the WWF in 1999 at WrestleMania 25 as Sable's manager. She had a brief run in the WWF before getting released after Bass said she was sexually harassed, and took them to court in 2003. Looked at that wrong. Sorry, guys. Bass, who was 52, passed away on Friday after suffering a heart attack. So what I want to do now, guys, for our 3 people that have fallen, I want to do a 10-bell salute. This is kind of what everybody does in honor of fallen wrestlers. If you go to any house shows, this is what they do. So, guys, I want to go ahead and do a 10-bell salute for these guys. Man, it's hard. It is. Sad. I love George Animal Steel. That's one of my favorite wrestlers back in the 80s.
I do remember him eating the turnbuckles.
I mean, you were just watching this guy, and it was just this, like, kind of big, hairy man who was bald. And he just had his demeanor like he was almost like a monkey. And he was like, he couldn't speak or nothing like that. And he was from some foreign land, and he couldn't talk or something like that. And he just kind of mumble around and do his thing and eat turnbuckles and act crazy and have crushes on Mrs. Elizabeth. I remember that. Which that actually led to the match between Randy Savage and George Animal Steel.
See, I know that when he passed away, the only people that were really mentioning it were like the people that were about your age and up. And I'm a little bit younger. But my dad made mention of it because he was like, that crazy son of a bitch used to eat turnbuckles. That's the first thing he said.
I mean, when I'm talking about eating turnbuckles, guys, I'm actually talking about tore the stuffing out of the buckle. I mean, all over the place.
Yeah, you could tell something was severely wrong with this man's head. You could tell.
And you know what? To make it even worse, we almost had a 4th death this week.
Yeah, see, this one is a lot closer to home for me because I grew up watching this man wrestle a lot. When you told me about the 3 deaths, and I was like, damn, you're like, and there's one on the way out the door, and I was like, damn, and you're like, yeah, Van Vader ain't looking too hot. And I was like, not Big Vader, and you're like, yes, Big Vader.
Yeah, this week, 90s and 2000 wrestling great Big Van Vader took to Twitter and posted a very sad tweet on Tuesday that said, "As I enter my final days, proud of the father, son, brother, football player, pro wrestler, super heavyweight, big man GOAT, I am grateful for the time." In November 2016, Vader announced on Twitter that he was suffering from congestive heart failure and only had 2 years to live. So, I mean, it's not looking good for our boy Big Van Vader.
No, it's not. And it is sad to see them go because it's a constant reminder of all the greats are going to start dropping, and it's just going to not be fun to watch. It really isn't.
I mean, there's still so many greats that are still alive, and I mean, they're going to just start dropping like flies. I mean, it's sad.
It's only a matter of time. Yeah.
I mean, especially with the work they do. I mean, pushing their bodies the way they do. It's only a matter of time where the heart gives out, or other addictions. I mean, come on, guys, let's be real about it. A lot of you guys are taking pain pills from taking bumps and going through tables and getting smacked in the face with chairs all the time. You get addicted to them. I mean, it happens, but they get addicted to that kind of stuff and they go too far and end up, dying from overdose.
Yeah, every once in a while you go over the line, and well, there ain't no coming back from going over the line.
Nope. Well, you know what, badass? We gotta get positive now.
Yeah, enough with this depressing, sad shit. Damn, for real.
Let's go ahead and get positive. And as a positive news, WWE news and WWE news, 2 more names were announced to this year's Hall of Fame class.
Yo, it's me. It's me. It's DDP.
Yes, former WCW and WWF wrestler Diamond Dallas Page is now a WWE Hall of Famer. DDP was a 3-time WCW heavyweight champion, 2-time WCW United States champion, 4-time WCW tag team champion, WCW television champion before the company folded in 2001. Page joined the WWF, where he won the WWF European Championship and WWF Tag Team Championship. After his career started to wind down, he starred in several movies such as Ready to Rumble, Nice Guys, The Devil Reject, Rat Race, and 40-Year-Old Virgin. Page also started a yoga program called DDP Yoga, where he has helped many people, including former wrestling greats Jake the Snake Robert and Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon.
I tell you what, that is a good make for the Hall of Fame. Can't argue with DDP being there. You really can't.
I mean, look at the class so far we have. Kurt Angle, the Rock and Roll Express, and DDP. I mean, you can't ask for a better class than that right now.
Right now, no, but it will get better. You're right, though. Especially because, I remember watching DDP, and I remember buying a shirt, the one that always had his hands up with Nick Diamond. I tell you what, he was entertaining, man.
And I loved it because it was like, he just come out of nowhere with a diamond cutter.
And just whop, face on the ground.
Also announced this year for the 2017 Hall of Fame, a former referee and manager and SmackDown general manager, Theodore Long, will be joining DDP, Kurt Angle, Rock and Roll Express for this year's induction.
Teddy Long.
Oh, Teddy Long. Long, who had his career started in the NWA, was hired by the WWF in 1998 as a referee, but returned as a manager in 2003, where he managed greats like D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, and Mark Callis, aka The Undertaker. Long became the SmackDown general manager from 2004 to 2008, then became the general manager of ECW for 1 year before returning to SmackDown from 2009 to 2012 as a general manager. And then he kind of ended up getting released with about 10 other wrestlers after that. So, Teddy Long, I think he definitely deserves to be in there. I mean,
did he put in his time?
He put his time in. I mean, he was a referee for a while. He did the referee thing for a while. He was a manager. Ended up being general manager. I think he paid his dues. I think he definitely deserves to go in.
I'm going to defer to you on this one. If you think that he did enough to make the Hall of Fame, then I'm with you.
I mean, he's not a big name. I mean, it's not like I'd be like, wow, Teddy Long made the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's plenty of other people that probably could have made it. Owen Hart. I mean, I'm still waiting for Owen Hart. I mean, The Rock. But I think Rock's going to be next year. Undertaker's going to be next year.
I think if they're going to put Owen Hart in, they're going to do it when it's a star-studded retirement year.
So you're thinking maybe next year, like Undertaker, Rock, Owen Hart?
Yeah, because think about it. He's a great name. If you're going to retire him, you got to retire him with other great names. Not saying DDP ain't great. Not saying anything like that. But I'm just saying when you're in vaunted company, it's just different.
How about putting him over a little bit? What about Triple H into that class?
That would be pretty cool. That might be the best class ever.
I mean, you think that's Attitude Era right there.
Yeah, I mean, Because isn't Stone Cold already in?
Stone Cold's in. Mick Foley's in.
Yeah, see, that would only be it got better is if you could have had Stone Cold and Mick Foley in there with him.
I mean, it would have been kind of great to have like Kurt Angle and then, you know, all those other Owen Hart. It'd be kind of great to have all them in one class, but I'm glad Kurt Angle got in this year. He deserved it. But I want to go ahead and move on to some other news that we have. And we had 2 actual fights going on the same night. We had Bellator 172 and UFC Fight Night 105.
Yeah, see, this caught our attention just simply because we were like, hey, there's 2 MMA events going on competing for views. And to be quite honest with you, the one ended in complete letdown, and the other one actually ended with some fireworks. So I say we get the boring one out the way first.
Yeah, I say we go ahead and start with the Bellator.
Yeah.
So Bellator 172 was on Saturday night, and what looked like a really pretty good card ended in disappointment as Matt Mitrione had to back out of the fight with Fedor Emelianenko. I said that wrong. I know I did.
Fedor Emelianenko.
Emelianenko.
You know those damn Russians and their crazy names.
I know.
It's hard, believe me.
Emelianenko.
It's
Here we go. See, I got it now.
Emelianenko, there you go.
WNBC.
WNBC.
But anyway, Matt Mitrione had to back out because of kidney stones. And I mean, you can't blame the guy. I mean, kidney stones hurt. I've never had them, but I know friends have had them, and they are painful as hell.
If you have to piss out a kidney stone, for all those who've already done it, I need not explain the hell that is to you. You know. For all y'all who don't know, trust me, you don't want it. It's not fun. It hurts like fuck. And it literally hurts until you pass it. And it's like to the point where you might pass out from the pain. That shit hurts. Make no mistake.
Bellator's president, Scott Coker, was upset about losing what would have been a great main event. Was very understanding about it in his post-fight interview of Bellator 172. Josh Thompson versus Patrick Vieira was moved to the main event, in which Vieira TKO'd Thompson in 40 seconds in the second round. In the co-headliner, you had Chet Congo beating Ole Thompson by unanimous decision, and also one of the undercards, you had UFC fighter that used to be on the show Ultimate Fighter, Josh Koscheck, getting knocked the fuck out in the first round by Mauricio Alonso.
Hey, when a fighter's past his prime, he should just hang it up. Because, I mean, Koscheck's took some badass hits. I mean, he's not like he used to be. And I'll say this, Bellator, you know, I love you for trying, but y'all just are not on the level that UFC is. And every time you try to bring that thunder, this is the kind of shit that happens. You either give everybody a shit fight, like I don't even want to bring up Dada 5000 and the recently deceased Kimbo Slice. That was a shit fest.
Oh, that was a total shit fest. I mean, by the second round, those guys were gassed.
Right.
I mean, they were just like, ugh, just throwing little, like half punches, like little girls.
And then you got this Fedor fight that never happened, and it's just, you're going to piss people off because now you've lost credibility because now you promised Fedor, you didn't deliver on it, he didn't even fight, there was no, like, that's the thing, that's boring. No one wants to pay ticket price if they're not going to get to see the main card. I mean, for fuck's sake.
What about Josh Koscheck? I mean, Josh Koscheck, I mean, come on.
I wouldn't, man, $10. That's the most I'm willing to pay to watch him get beat up.
I mean, I think he's lost like 4 or 5 fights in a row now.
He's done.
It's done. He needs to be like all them other guys right around this time. Forrest Whitaker, all them guys.
Forrest Whitaker.
Or not Forrest Whitaker. Did I say Forrest?
I was about to say, man, Forrest Whitaker's fighting.
Yeah,
I want to see that shit.
He's in there. He's like looking at his bad eye, one side bad eye.
He's got the one eye going this way, the other one that way. You don't know what he's about to do.
Forrest
Griffin.
Oh man, see what you get. This is what you get, guys. It's been a long week, and this is what you get right here. But anyway, a lot of those greats have retired and just going to announcing and training and all that. They're out of the game. And they realize that. Josh Koscheck, he's one of them hard-headed, dumb son of a bitches.
Just don't get
They
it.
just don't get it. And they just keep wanting to fight and keep getting his ass kicked. I mean, come on, you get KO'd in the first round. Time to hang up. Time to be done with it.
Kind of like Chael Sonnen. I don't know how he keeps getting fights. He's like on an 800 million fight losing streak. Like the man, like I've already told y'all how I feel about this shit. You want to pay me $100,000 to step in there with him and fight him? I don't give a damn. I will, because shit. The way I see it, I don't even have to train like they do. I never train like they do. But if you actually give me 6 months to prepare for a fight with him, I think I can win, because goddamn, he runs his mouth a lot. And then he gets in there, and then he either gets choked out, stretched out, punched in the mouth. Like, he's all talk. And if you're going to be all talk, then fuck it. I'll fight you for $100,000. I'm poor, motherfucker. That'll change my life. I know you assholes out there got money and you think the shit's funny, but $100,000 says I fucking get motivated enough to beat the hell out of you, dude. I don't give a damn if you are a trained fighter.
How about Chet Congo? That dude, man, he's old too, but he's still winning.
You know, I think it's just because of his brute strength. If he actually lands like one of them big flat punches right to your nugget, you're gonna get like rocked. He's just because he's big.
I mean, honestly, his nickname should be Chet. Instead of Chet Congo, should be good old Czech. Oh man, why am I blowing a blank on what I was gonna say? See, this is what you get, guys. My brain is fried from the week, just absolutely fried. Oh, Czech King Kong Congo.
Hey, boom, 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 beat on the chest.
I mean, that's what he looks like. He looks like King Kong. I mean, that dude's just neck and muscle. I mean, that's all he is. He's like a little turtle, like you said, Butterbean.
Hey, man, if he ain't got no neck, it's hard to knock him out. You got to work harder for it.
So also on Saturday night, we had UFC Fight Night 105. And I'll be completely honest with you, Badass, it was a lackluster card. I mean, it featured heavyweight Travis Brown versus Derek Lewis and middleweights Johnny Hendrick versus Hector Lombardo. And actually, Johnny Hendrick won that fight in unanimous decision. So that's really not much of a fight. It's kind of, they went around, beat on each other a little bit, and they had a unanimous decision. Whatever. I'd rather see somebody get knocked out or tapped out, but that's my personal opinion. But thank God that after all this, we had a little bit of controversy in the main event. Travis Brown and Derek Lewis, they come out in the first round, and Travis Brown started beating on him. I mean, beating on him. And the referee comes really, really close to calling this fight. And that's kind of like, a lot of people are calling it a controversial fight.
It was quite this fight. I watched it, and Travis Brown came out early with the leg kicks, keeping him off balance. He actually had him hurt there because he kept kicking him in the midsection, and he actually had him, feeling the pain. Why he didn't press harder, I'll never know. But it just seemed like everything was going his way. And then the second round came. And then they started trading blows. It started becoming a little more even. But what got him was he started connecting with those hands. And then he covered up. And he kind of recovered. But then he kind of went in and he slipped his right. And when Derek Lewis slipped Brown's right, he hit him right on the top of the nugget, like kind of glancing down with a big right hand. And he went off balance. And then when Lewis got on top of him, it was game over. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, the referee should have called that fight long before he did, because he let Brown's nugget just get wrapped. I mean, bounced off of that mat like good 3 times. I mean, he was already clearly not defending himself. And then, boom, big hand. Boom, another big hand. He's not defending himself. His head's wrapping up and down. And so everybody on social media has been just like going nuts over this. Like, he should have called the fight. He should have called the fight. So, of course, I'm like,
The dude minds. This will not stand, This aggression will not stand, man.
everyone's pissed off like hardcore. They're like, this should have never happened. This should have never happened. And I'm loving it because I love a good knockout. And then, even after the knockout, he was talking shit.
Well, yeah, but that was the big thing, was that apparently Travis Brown is a woman beater. And not only that, but he's dating Ronda Rousey, former UFC fighter. I think she's pretty much done. I don't think she's coming back.
If she's smart, listen, Ronda, don't come back. Don't do it. You're scared now. All these bitches that can actually fight standing on their feet and bang, they know it. They're not scared of you no more because they know once you get punched in the mouth hard real one good time, you're done. So just hang it up, take your money right off into sunset, start a gym for women. I don't know what you're going to do. Just don't come back to the UFC because I'm telling you right now, the next time you come back will be the last time you come back because you're going to get carried out on your shield again.
But Travis Brown apparently is a woman beater, and Derek Lewis decided that he wanted to call him out in his post-fight interview, and this is a little bit what he had to say.
What do you think of the stoppage? I think a lot of people thought Mario Yamasaki got in there at least a few shots too late.
What's that?
What did you think about the stoppage? I think a lot of people thought Mario Yamasaki got in there a few shots too late, that Travis was probably done, before this last couple on the ground.
No, I appreciate it. Shit, well, yeah, I give him $1,000. I appreciate it for letting the fight go a little longer than what it would, because I just want to get all my anger out on Travis' face anyway, because he like to hit on women. So I appreciate him for doing that.
All right. Anybody else? Nope.
I keep it real.
I think Derek Lewis is my new favorite heavyweight. He's just this good old boy from Texas that just don't fucking play games, man. I like the guy. I mean, he backs his shit talking up.
I almost wanted to give him the Banford Award a week.
He did. Listen, the only reason you did not win, sir, is because you knocked out one guy. Granted, he's a trained fighter, but Rivas, being a football player and not a trained fighter like yourself, sir, knocked out two guys on the street. So he literally edged you out by a half an inch. But if we could give out two, we would. But we can't. So we can't give you the Banff Award of the Week. But we can give you the Gangster Ass Motherfucker Award of the Week. Can we give him that one?
Yeah, we'll give him that one.
There we go. We'll give him that one.
And what's even funnier was you didn't have that clip on there too, but he also says, give kind of a shout out to Rousey. He says, yeah, where's that sexy bitch at?
Listen, I like it. He likes to talk some shit. I like it.
Now, I mean, I really wouldn't want to see a second fight, would you?
What, between them two?
Yeah.
It's going to end the same damn way that one ended.
Yeah, Lewis beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, he's going to get his head knocked against the mat a couple more times.
So, yeah, we had two fights on Saturday night, and I mean, honestly, Bellator really didn't impress me too much. UFC Fight Night 105 really didn't impress me that much. I mean, they maybe had one or two good fights on there with guys that are well known, but the rest of them were kind of middle card, no names. Now, I know UFC does a lot of times where they don't put a lot of those guys, the big name stars, on the fight nights. Sometimes they have ones that are mediocre, and then sometimes they actually put a good fight on there.
Every once in a while, they'll throw you a really good bone. Every once in a while, you're like, I don't want to watch Fight Night. And then they'll throw a fight, you're like, It makes you like, hey, that actually might be pretty good. I mean, they know what they're doing.
Let's go to Beefs and watch that fight.
They're like fishermen who are throwing corn out there. And you're like, man, you keep throwing the same ass corn. And then every once in a while, boom, it's a minnow. And you're like, you can check that out. Fish on hook. That's how it happens.
So I'm going to go ahead and move on into some baseball news. And this is actually pretty crazy story. I mean, you actually brought this up to me. Badass. I didn't see the story, but you happened to see it. And I started reading into it, and I found it very interesting, some of the shenanigans that were going on.
These pinstripe having Bronx Bomber bastards, exactly.
Bronx bitches, what they are.
I mean,
I said it, Tracy. I said Bronx bitches. I said it. What you gonna do about it?
I fucking can't stand the Yankees. I just can't. My upbringing and my forefathers would just roll in their graves. I can't do it. But, they did make the news. We just got pitchers and catchers report the other day, and boom, they're already making the news. New York fashion, as usual, acting like some assholes.
So, New York Yankees middle reliever Dellin Betances will be taking a pay cut of $2 million after the Yankees filed arbitration on him. Now, he was really mad about the situation. The Yankees president, Randy Levine, kind of added salt to the wound and decided to hold a press conference. In that press conference, he ripped Betances and his agent Jim Murray, a new one, accusing Murray and XL Sports management of using Batiste to try to change arbitration rules. To set up relievers getting paid just as much as closers. Levine commented, "That would be like me claiming I'm not the president of the Yankees, I'm an astronaut." In which Murray replied, "It's not my style or our style to say anything to the media. However, we are not going to be bullied by the Yankees team president. His statements are reprehensible and outright false."
Honestly, you didn't need all the extracurriculars. You went to arbitration. You wanted to give 3. He wanted 5. The arbitrator sided with you. You won. There's no need for all the extra shit, unless you were just salty, which I could see that being the case. But Dylan Betances is a good pitcher. He's a good relief pitcher, and he could be a closer if you needed him to be. But I'll be damned if he's going to do anything for you now, because not only did you rub salt in the wound, then you pissed in it while you were at it. So, if I'm him, every time you call me up, after I got my guaranteed money, I'm going to throw every fucking ball in the dirt, wild pitch. I'm going to hit a motherfucker or 2 if I don't like them. I'm going to fucking just shit on your damn sunshiny day. Because if you're going to act like an asshole, son, from where I'm from, we're going to treat you like an asshole.
And now that's going to be interesting, because now we're not even into the season yet, and you're already having an issue with one of your middle relievers. And exactly what you said. I mean, the guy could just go out there and be like, "Oh, I'm going to throw a bunch of balls, hit some people, allow home runs, not give a shit," and like, fuck it. I don't care. I'm going to do whatever I want to do because I had to take a pay cut. And I mean, I understand a $2 million pay cut is a $2 million pay cut. That's a big pay cut.
Granted, his agent may be in fact doing what he's being accused of by Mr. Levine, but have some class, dude. Don't go out there and call him out in the media. You don't have to. You fucking won arbitration. That tells any right-minded person within your game and your system that it's not going to work, that you didn't allow it to happen. I mean, my God, that's like being the parent of the Special Needs Olympics and going and blurting out and bragging that your kid won the Special Olympics for this. You know, that's what I'm talking about. You won. You don't need to fucking gloat. Like, what the fuck's the matter with you? I mean, could you see somebody doing that? Hey, my kid won. Yeah, I know, but all the kids are winners today, right? No, my kid won. What do you think about that, Tommy? No. I mean, that's just, you're being an asshole, just like I am right now. You don't need to do that. Leave that shit to me. I'm the professional asshole.
You can address all your hate to the Burger and Badass at Facebook.com.
Don't make me Helen Keller these motherfuckers.
No. Don't Helen Keller.
Yeah, don't make me do it.
No, don't do it. We've already offended enough people as it is tonight. We can't go over the line.
All I'm saying is this. For Mr. Levine, this is what you get from the Burger and Badass show. What the hell were you thinking, man? Seriously. Did you have to really go that low? You're the fucking president of the Yankees. I'd think that you're above that kind of fray. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a fucking guy from South Carolina.
Then again, that's what happens when you're an asshole from New York.
Correct.
So I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and move into our part of the program where we start talking about college basketball. And we actually had a very, very scary situation on Monday night at the West Virginia-Texas game, as West Virginia's head coach, Bobby Huggins, during a timeout just before halftime, fell to his knees and clutched his chest. After going to the locker room to get checked out, it showed that a defibrillator that was installed after his 2002 heart attack accidentally went off, shocking his heart. Huggins returned to coach the second half as number 12 West Virginia won the game 77-62. Huggins commented, It comes out of nowhere. I guess I got a little lightheaded, which I do when I stand up too fast. But a lot of it has to do with old age, and a lot of it has to do with the medication I take.
Then maybe he ought to consider retiring. I mean, I know West Virginia fans do not want to hear any of that shit out of my mouth. And Country Roads, I'm sorry. But if your coach is getting lightheaded from standing up too quick, and he's getting up there in age and has health problems and has a pacemaker in his chest, and it just shocked his ass. And he went, I mean, come on. I think it's time that y'all let go and let that man go enjoy being a fucking granddad or whatever he wants to do. My God, I mean, listen, Bob, you could have died on the floor, dude. Is that what you want?
I mean, the man had a heart attack in 2002, had a defibrillator put in his chest, and it's not like he's going to like a just plain old day office job or, you know, doing something, an easy job, no stress. He's coaching college basketball at a high level.
High stress.
High stress.
All the time.
All the damn time. And this man, like I said, had a heart attack, had this problem here tonight, the other night, had the defibrillator go off. Man thought he was having maybe a heart attack again. Maybe it's time for, I know, Country Roads, I love you. We love you here at the Burger and Badass Show. We do. But it might be time for Huggins to say, you know what? I've had a great career. It's time to go home and be with the family. Maybe get into announcing a little bit. You know, after taking a couple years off, maybe go into announcing or something like that. You know, and take it easy.
Maybe so, maybe not. That's for him to decide, but the way I see it is this. My grandmother, for a long time before she retired, worked for St. Jude, and they made those pacemakers, and those people are damn good at what they do. But that kind of shit does happen and can happen. But maybe it's time for West Virginia to start, you know, getting the wheels in motion on finding another stellar coach, because think about it. You can't just hire some schmuck. The guy who you're hiring has to follow the great Bob Huggins. So you got to be smart. You don't want to hire, say, like Brad Brownell from Clemson.
Exactly.
Who's likely going to get fired at the end of the season. And if he doesn't, he's the fuck out. If he doesn't, I need to go talk to him. I need to, whatever's in his water, I need to drink it. Whatever he's doing, I need to do it. Because if you can suck that goddamn badly at your job and still have it, son, I need whatever you got. Whatever you got going on, I need it.
I mean, granted, here at the Burger and Badass Show, we're all about being reckless. But the last thing we want to do is see that man on the court fall over and have a heart attack and pass away. I mean, nobody wants to see it. I don't want to see it. I know you badass don't want to see something like that.
I don't know. That'd be good for ratings.
Wow.
Hey, you think that the guys at ESPN wouldn't love that? They'd be all over that for 5 straight days. Round the clock.
So...
You know it's true.
Yeah, I know. It is true. But then again, that's the life we live in now. But also this week we had a really, really good matchup in college basketball, and I want to talk about that a little bit. And what was a premier matchup between number 3 Kansas versus number 4 Baylor turned out to be one of the biggest, best games of the week, as Kansas got the 67-65 win on Saturday night. Frank Mason III led the way for the Jayhawks with 23 points and 8 assists, while Josh Jackson had 16 points. Baylor's Jonathan Motley led the Bears with 19 points and 9 rebounds, and Manu Lacomonte had 16 points and 3 rebounds. I mean, that's one hell of a game. Big matchup like that.
Top 5 matchup.
Number 3 versus number 4. Huge matchup, and it lives up to everything it expected to be.
Dude, what do you think about Bill Self at Kansas? I mean, he's one of the best coaches. Wouldn't you say? Like, he's like quietly building a resume for one of the best coaches ever, but like nobody really thinks about it.
He's one of the guys in the weeds that you don't really say anything until all of a sudden you're like, oh, where the hell did Bill Self come from?
He is. He's the crouching tiger in the grass, isn't he?
He is.
No, that was a hell of a game, though. Even the highlight reels, there were a hell of a lot of nice shots made. Everything was just really, really great about that game. It's one of those games that makes watching sports, you know, it makes it. It just outright makes it. Because you don't get those games a lot. Sometimes you get a blowout. Sometimes you get a game where no one really cares to play. And then along comes a really good game where you're like, hey, we could actually go out and watch this game because this is going to be interesting.
I mean, you can. I mean, games like that is what you live for in college basketball. Games that come down to the wire, you know, last second. We had a game tonight that we'll be talking about in a little bit that came down to the wire right before we went on the show. I was telling you about it.
Oh, no.
Unbelievable.
But hey, I'll say this. We were right in our assumption. We said that it could happen and that we were likely going to regret taking the pick we did. And by God, if that isn't actually what happened.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, that's college basketball for you.
It is.
So now I want to kind of go into some of the games of the week we had. On Thursday night, we had unranked Michigan upsetting number 11 Wisconsin 64-58. I mean,
this is one of those games where it just starts out and it's just like, this is not good.
I mean, granted, Michigan's not the team they used to be when they had the Fab Five. But
No, those days are gone.
those days are long gone, and their recruiting is not that great. I mean, they're struggling to get recruits out that way.
Yeah. No, you're not kidding. Seems like all that talent, it's ended up at either Notre Dame, it's going to Wisconsin, Ohio State. Like, they're going anywhere but.
Even when Michigan State, they have to.
Right. That's what it's like, anywhere but Michigan. It's like Michigan's a fucking black hole all of a sudden.
Then we had number 5 Arizona blowing out Washington State 78-59.
That is a blowout.
What were you gonna say? You look like you had that something on your mind you wanted to say.
I had an evil thought. Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me, badass.
Think about this. Michigan football hired who to turn the program around? Who did they hire to turn their program around in football?
Harbaugh.
So in basketball, if you want to turn it around, and it's a known Michigan person, someone that's going to get the response that you want, it's going to fire all the recruits up, who can also get the recruits. You know who I'm going to already say. First name Jalen. Last name Rose.
Really?
Yes. Hire that man as your coach. How much you want to bet he'll turn them around strictly on his name alone? Because he is a part of the Fab Five. He is a Michigan player. He's alum. He's respected amongst all those people. He could go out there and actually get recruits based on his name alone. And I think he actually knows enough about basketball to where he could probably be a good coach.
And I mean, you see that a lot of times where players turn around and be coaches, and they do a good job there.
Now, I'm not saying it's going to work every time, because sometimes it doesn't work like that. Sometimes it bombs. But hey, there are players that can do it. Like, look at John Elway. Great quarterback. Now great, head management. He's at upper management of the Denver team, the franchise, who's actually winning and winning consistently and knows what they're doing. They're a pretty smart team under his direction. So it's not like, Ozzie Newsome. He did it. Peyton Manning's probably going to be one of those guys that does it.
Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge, exactly. He's a perfect example.
Exactly.
He just got done fucking hosing the shit out of that Sacramento home. Didn't he just do a deal with the Sacramento Kings that everybody's been talking so much shit about, or was it the Nets? It was either the Nets or the Kings. Danny Ainge just did a deal with one of these fucking teams, and he just hosed the fuck out of them not too long. Everyone's like, God damn. Like, he's very smart. But like you just said, it proves your point. He's a great player, and even when he's in the front office, he's going to hose your ass, get what he wants. He's not going to give any ground. He's going to be like, boom, motherfucker, how'd you like it? Some people just know how to do it.
And then we had number 7 Oregon destroying Utah 79-61. Not really surprised there.
No, because they seem to be like they're on a cruise control all the way into the tournament. It really seems that way.
So then on Saturday, we had a slew of games. We had number 3 Kansas edging out number 4 Baylor 67-65. We had number 6 UCLA destroying USC 102-70. Number 7 Oregon crushing Colorado 101-73. Number 8 Louisville squeaking by a win over Virginia Tech 94-90. Unranked Vanderbilt shocking number 21 South Carolina 71-62. Unranked Pittsburgh upsetting number 17 Florida State 80-66. And number 9 West Virginia needing 2 overtimes to beat unranked Texas Tech 83-74. And I agree with you, badass. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
All in one day.
All in one day.
That's why we have to give it the award. Because that's all of them wrapped up. You had good games, you had bad games, And you had games that were just outright fucking ugly.
Yes.
You know, it really was. And that's what we like about sports. That's the parody of college basketball. We keep talking about it because it's true. This is the sport where they are the closest, where you can have all these upsets. Next week, all these teams that got upset will likely blow the fucking doors off who they play. That's the beauty of basketball at the college level. It's not like in the NBA where you already know it's going to be the fucking Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors again. Like, pretty much going to be one of those two teams that wins it, because all the other teams suck. In college basketball, it ain't like that. They can all suck or they can all be great on the same fucking day, too.
You know how we always say college football. What's college football? Any given Saturday.
Any given Saturday.
NFL football. Any given Sunday. You know what college basketball is? Any given day. I mean, any day, anything can happen. And as we go into this, you're going to see that. Because there's some big upsets that happened this week. And I'm just like, how the hell that happened? Some of them games have just shocked me. I mean, South Carolina going down again. I mean, they looked strong for a while. And now recently they look like they're kind of sputtering out and they've lost gas.
It does kind of look like they're losing steam. And that's not good because you're trying to head into the tournament strong. You're trying to make a good case. And that's not helping.
Not helping at all. I mean,
No.
you make yourself look real bad, especially when you're losing to unranked teams. You can't do that.
That's very true. You're right. You can't do that.
I mean, you lost to unranked Vanderbilt. Let that sink in, guys. Unranked Vanderbilt. You lost to them. Really?
Yeah, it's not like the wheels are falling off the bus. And it's not like Clemson fans can say anything because the wheels fell off that goddamn bus long ago.
What, the second game in?
Dude, it's been like literally, it's like heartbreaking loss after another. Like every time they take the floor, they compete. But that in the critical moment where it's like you need to step through, like break through, make the shot, make the block, make the free throw that's going to win. They don't. And it's just like, fuck me, dude. Like how many more times do I have to watch this team that is talented take a shit? How many times? You built a new arena. It's like, this isn't Field of Dreams, motherfucker. If you build it, they will come. Shut the fuck up. They came all right. They came to watch their team get their ass kicked again and again and again. And newsflash, they're fucking sick of it.
You know, the funny thing is now the baseball starter there in Clemson, nobody wants to go watch the basketball team. They'd rather go watch the baseball team.
Man, I'd rather fucking pay more money to watch one fucking player, Seth Beer, than to give you money to watch the whole damn basketball team play. Fuck that. And you know what? You want me to watch the game? Free. Make it free. If I don't have to pay to get in, I'll pay for my food and my concessions. But if I have to pay to get in to watch that shit, you've lost me already.
And what's crazy about Clemson this year is they've had games where they played Duke. They lost by 2 points. And then they play teams like Florida State or Louisville.
Get blown
and
out.
they get their fucking doors blown in. I mean, it's just like, they're hot, they're cold, they play good, they play shitty.
You want to hear something sad, Burger?
What's that?
More people paid money to see Grayson Allen in our house than our own team. Let that sink in.
That's your boy, ain't it?
You know what? What I just said, if that doesn't show you that it's time for a regime change in basketball, I don't know what's going to, people. Is it going to take another 7 years of mediocrity? I mean, we're not getting over the hump. And Brad, from me to you, dude, I like you as a person. You're a damn good person. It's really hard to come on here and roast you and pick you apart, but that's what we do. That's our job when we're here. That's what we get off on. We have fun with it. But when we're here, we have to roast you if you're not doing good. And you're not doing good. I mean, you're not getting us over the hump. We should be making the tournament. We're not even going to make the NIT at this point. I mean, what the fuck?
And that's sad, too, because like you said, they built in the arena, brought guys that looked like they were going to play good, and then just take fat shits after fat shits.